Up though, brother?
Hey, y'all know what it is, man. Swisher break. We got some great questions constructed by Kool-Aid. I only got one to add to that if we have time. We'd love to get that one off, but we will start here. Trajan Langdon deserves at least a B+ for the Pistons offseason. Swish or brick?
When we're talking about the offseason of pivot, I do believe that this is a passing grade. I do believe that this is more than a passing grade. I think this is more than a C. I think that this is, when you look at everything that he had, he kept the cap sheet clean. He kept their flexibility at the trade deadline wide open. So if there is a need that presents itself, they can actually go out and play with a lot of money without adding anything else to their books. They already have it already taken care of, and they've gone, and the positions of need that they lost, they were able to fill those things. I believe it is a B+. But what say ye, Flannel Sam?
I'm going to say brick, but not by much. I think Dad with Tourette's nails it in the chat. IDK, I don't know about B+, but I'd say B or B-. There's one move in mind that I would like Trajan to make. We may get to it today. We may get to it later this week. That would make it a B+, A-. But I am... As basketball players, I understand Karis LeVert and I understand Duncan Robinson, and I've been championing these moves on this show. Right now I'd say B or B-, not B+.
Yeah, you got a lot of support for the Bs. I see some swishes in the chat from Greg, but we'll continue to go around. Hey, Willie B, I gotta ask you, man. You giving him that B+ swish or brick?
You like a disappointed parent right now. This shit is crazy.
A break. A break because they need one piece. Like Flannel said, I'm backing Flannel on this one. Is that you need a backup big for even Stewart and then Jalen Duren.
JB Smooth. Oh, JB Smooth.
I was gonna say Willie still has something else, but I don't want to say it's a brick. It's like a missed layup. I'll say that it just rolls off the side of the rim because it's not. B+, I'm giving it, but at least a B, a solid B. You still want to see him make some more moves. Hopefully you can get rid of Tobias and get another big, but that's just
They back on that shit again. They back on that again. Not at the season over. Back on the bullshit.
But anyway, it's a solid B. It's a solid B. You're still hoping that he makes some moves, but it's a solid B.
Wait, they still have Tobias? F, right, JB?
Yes.
Yes.
No, F.
JB, we're not doing that. That man damn near carried us through this playoff run. We're not gonna do that. But
he carried the orange slices.
I agree with Sam and KG. I mean Sam and KG.
You
Sam,
agree with KG?
Yeah, of course I agree with KG. But Sam and JB, I do agree with. It is a solid B for me. But what a lot of people and Ryan, I'm so glad you came on here and spoke the gospel about Karis LeVert, because the outrage in terms of that signing was like blasphemous to me. I know he's not the bordering 20-point a game scorer that he once was, but that's a very, very good addition to this bench. I think most people just forgot that this Pistons team is ahead of schedule. And Kool-Aid, we kind of talked about it yesterday. That maybe the decision was always whatever happens this year happens, but we're looking at 2026, we're looking at 2027. So I'm not mad at anything they've done. You were able to pivot from a Malik Beasley situation and were able to get Duncan Robinson, who is the same type of player. Literally, they are a wash. And you went out there and got Karis LeVert to replace a Dennis Schroeder and, in some instances, Simone Fontecchio. So I'm cool, man. Could they do more? Yes, I still think there's more to be done. But as of right now, I'm cool as a fan.
Hey, you know what? The chat lit up with this one. Dante151, he says a swish. A-Diz says brick. He gives him a B. Dad with Tourette's, you read that one earlier. He says he'd probably say a B. Charles McClain, brick. Hey, Dad with Tourette's gives him the maybe B-. Greg, though, he gives him a swish. John Effing Lord, a swish. Terrell Lamar gives him an A. And I saw, who was it? Somebody that stated, I think it might have been A-Diz, but it stated that, oh, here it is. L, actually. He says he gives him an A+. Because they have foresight. They had the foresight to keep money for the trade deadline. I actually, I get it.
And that trade exception could be huge in terms of a deal later on. We don't know.
What say ye, Rod Beard?
I'm going to say a solid B. So it's a brick, but I'll say a solid B. If they went and got Brooke Lopez, I would go A+ all day.
Oh, yeah. Without a doubt.
That would have checked all of the boxes for what they needed. But, I mean, it is when you look at what free agency was and all of the names that we talked about, the Bobby Portises, the Nas Reeds, even the Salty, all of those folks came off the board immediately before even the negotiating period was really open. They were all gone. So there wasn't a big to go out there and get unless it was like a Brook Lopez. But he wanted to go to the Clippers. He thinks that's a better deal. Hey, stay in the East and join this Pistons team, and they could be fire. But for what they did in having to pivot last minute, I think that gives them a solid enough B.
Hey, shout out. That's fair.
Absolutely. Rob speaking the gospel, and kind of to piggyback what Sam was talking about, I know what player you was referring to, and we have a question for it. The Pistons should pursue one of P.J. Washington or Obi Toppin before the season starts, swish or brick.
Hey, listen, you're talking about some players who, with Obi Toppin, you've seen this guy play in a lot of different situations. I do believe he brings some experience to you. And with the P.J. Washington, I love the versatility that he brings to this thing and a little bit of that Detroit grit. And I do believe that P.J. Washington got kinfolk from here. I believe it's his father who might be from the Saginaw area. And so I got to start with you, Flannel Sam, because I do believe that one of those players would absolutely be a swish of a free agency for the Detroit Pistons. But what say ye? They got to pursue one of these two players, swish or break?
Neither of them are actually my first choice, but I will go with swish because I really like Obi Toppin. From everything that I've seen, he would fit under the trade exemption. Showed a lot in the playoffs and the finals. Has improved his three-point shot. Obviously, is athletic, can rebound, can defend. I would love Obi Toppin on this team.
Well, would that make you happy, Willie B?
Oh, definitely. I'll give a switch because I definitely Obi Toppin, high flyer, 6'9". He been athletic. He don't play his role. He can rebound. He can bend a little. He's perfect. I like P.J. Washington a lot better. Yeah. Because the way he does in Dallas, and he's athletic, and he can guard multiple positions. So I lean to P.J. on that one.
And just one more extra thing about Obi Toppin, wouldn't require a lot of usage. Did a lot of damage on less than 20 minutes per game last year in the regular season.
That's actually a huge point.
Yeah.
What up, though, JB Smooth?
This is definitely a swish. I wouldn't mind a PJ Washington. He did a lot for the Mavs, as Willie just stated as well too. But I think I prefer Obi Toppin a little bit more. Just as what Flannel said, you don't have to use him a lot, but still, he's very athletic, and you like what you've seen out of him in the playoffs this past season. So give me Obi Toppin and a swish.
What up, though?
It's a swish on one of these guys for me. I think P.J. Washington would be the perfect addition to this team. Like the way he defends, he can hit a three ball. He drives the paint. Like he is everything that you would want in a player fitting the mold of this Pistons team. I'm still not sold on Obi Toppin, and he did have a great year. And Sam has done a great job of like trying to illustrate that. Maybe it's just some of my bias from what I've seen from him, but he still seems a little bit limited to me, as opposed to a PJ Washington that can play all over the floor. But I would pursue PJ, but if it's Obi Toppin, I wouldn't be upset. I just don't think that it's not a dire need to pursue him.
Yeah, and I see the chat is split again, man. I'm seeing some swishes here from John F. from Lord, from Mitten Maid, from Greg. A says PJ was solid on the Mavs. Dad with Tourette's. PJ is a big. Want a lot of Pistons fans. I guess a lot of Pistons fans definitely want P.J. Washington here. I also saw some bricks in the chat too, but largely it seems like people are for it. But Terrell Lamar says brick. Dante151, he wants Toppin, and Wheezy D313, he says neither. Which I saw a couple of those in the chat too. Neither? You don't want neither of those?
Right.
Run it back. You good to go? Hey, Rob Beard, what say ye?
I don't think Obi Toppin is gettable. Because he's in that 15 mil range, 14 this year, 15 to 16. His contract escalates over the next couple of years. You probably have to trade to go get him. What is PJ Washington's salary for next year? Expiring 14.15. What is the Pistons trade exception? 14.2.
Oh, you cooking? You cooking?
Go get that man on an expiring. And that was what I was alluding to. That's what I was alluding to, is that at the trade deadline, because Dallas can say, you know what, with Cooper Flag, we don't really need to have PJ, but that's a guy by the trade deadline, if Dallas figures out, hey, we're not in this like we thought we would be because AD needs another surgery for
Goodness, I need to kick the tires again. Remember at the beginning of the season,
what were they
told
thinking
y'all
on AD? What were they thinking on AD?
It's just It wouldn't have been that bad of a move if he hadn't have got hurt though, because the way that front court was
But he does
constructed
get
defensively, they would have had trouble in the playoffs. Like a lot of teams would have had trouble in the playoffs.
They would have.
Who gets hurt more?
But Anthony Davis, it's fair.
Anthony Davis or Zion Williamson? Who gets hurt more?
Zion! What the F are you talking about with all due respect?
Oh, here comes Sam.
Obviously Zion.
Sam for the top rope to
This
defend his
idea
boy.
that AD gets us hurt as much as Embiid and Zion is not proven
But at
out by
this
the fact.
Every year. It's every year. You can make one of those little skeletons with body parts of everything that AD has hurt in his career, and it's always something. He's gonna play through this every year. It's something.
It's
It's Anthony Davis.
Just like,
I'm sorry.
What can you pick out from
More
that?
than Zion? Zion's
To
played like
me,
30% of the
yes.
games in his career. What are you guys talking about? He doesn't play games. AD's going to the freaking Hall of Fame when he retires. He is.
Yes,
He is.
But at
He
this
is.
stage,
He is.
I don't
but
think at this
he's hurt
stage,
every
though.
season though. That is not a lie.
I think that narrative does matter. Hey, if we're talking his career, yes, there are things I like about AD, but at this stage in his career, I don't feel comfortable with either one of those guys on the squad, especially with how much they're going to command. And do I expect Anthony Davis to be injured before the trade deadline? Do I expect it to be an injury that makes him have to think, do we have to go on ahead and do something different? I do. I don't expect him to be some pivotal figure for the freaking Dallas Mavericks.